Hey, shalom everybody. So I have a Hebrew word behind me. I want to poll the internet and ask native Hebrew speakers a question. Now, I don't want an interpretation. I just want the most honest answer or answers from native Hebrew speakers, even if it will or can be used against your position. Okay, so that's what it means to be honest. To lay out something, give someone else ammunition, so to speak, to use against your own position, because that's what honesty and integrity means, okay? So native Hebrew speakers, without any further context, what is this word? And is it second person, first person? And please read it without vowel pointings. Now, I know that in your mind, you're already processing the vowels, even though they're not there. But I want everyone to understand what I'm asking. Could you at least say what this word means and or could mean with or without vowel pointings? That's the question. Hey guys, so it's time to share the results of the poll, because sometimes it's just better to let the internet tell your haters that they're wrong and you're right. So just a little bit of backstory. I'm probably the only channel on YouTube that counters anti-missionaries, in particular Tovia Singer, on a regular basis. Like, that's pretty much all that my channel is about. So why did I do the poll if I already know what the Hebrew word means? Well, because sometimes my haters don't care what I say. They're just not going to listen to me. So I'm going to show you this person's comment, their video. I'm going to show you a snippet of it, the portion that is relevant to why I asked. And I guess we're just going to go from there. So this person is using a snippet from my video where I am comparing the hey and the kaf and why I believe there are theological implications for why this is only used once. And of course, this goes right over this person's head, but nonetheless, here we go. This is his response to what I said in this video. Anything about suffixes, he knows that a final kaf is a second person singular.
No, it is not singular.
Yes, it is singular.
Zaracha in Genesis 3:15 is used multiple times in the Hebrew Bible.
So I want you to note the vowel pointings. This person obviously doesn't know that vowel pointings can completely alter the way one would read a word.
In a plural context. Although, to be fair, she is not the first Christian to make this mistake.
That would be because Christians are correct, but I digress.
Paul makes the same mistake in Galatians 3:16 in thinking that the word zaracha, when speaking to Abraham, is...
See, even when he said the word zaracha, he used the sound, which adds the vowel pointings, but I digress.
Singular, and so therefore must be referring to a single descendant of Abraham, which is Jesus.
So in my video, I was saying that it means second person singular, and he claimed I was wrong. Well, here's a biblical scholar claiming the exact same thing. Second person singular, second person singular. This is added on with the addition of vowel pointings. Of course, this has the vowel pointings, but nonetheless, second person singular, second person singular. Your. Here is a Jew acknowledging that it is second person, your, singular. So the word is second person singular. Now the way that it's used in the Bible is up for interpretation and or vowel pointings addition, but it's second person singular. Shalom.
Which is exactly why Paul was 100% proper with his use of the word and the interpretation therein. It's also why I am correct, and not sure why you can't see that.
So because I feel like beating an unalived horse, we're just going to show more proof from actual Hebrew teachers. So I'm going to preserve this person's identity because this person is Jewish. But if you read, I'm going to try and zoom out so you can pause to read. But this person clearly says it is second person singular. And the reason why this person knows this is because they actually teach Hebrew. Notice here, if it is written in a plural form of seeds, a person would assume that it's talking about actual plant seeds. Furthermore, this person said the word in this post is usually understood, meaning interpreted, as a plural, to the point that it is singular. That would be the exception, but it is not grammatically plural. So do you remember the part of the video where I called the internet to tell me what the word meant, and I didn't care what your interpretation of the word was? I just needed to know grammatically what the word meant. Yeah, that's why. Because grammatically, it is second person singular. I was right and the other person was wrong. I hate to even say it that way, but sometimes you just got to be that blunt for people to get it through their thick head.
And considering if he knows anything about suffixes, he knows that a final
The he I'm speaking of is Tovia Singer, Rabbi Tovia Singer. So I said he knows that a final kaf is
a second person singular.
No, it is not singular. The word zaracha in Genesis 3:15.
Yes, absolutely. It is grammatically singular. So this is why I do what I do, because grammatically I'm correct. Grammatically I am correct. And even with me being grammatically correct, it doesn't nullify the Jewish position. So this is what I'm saying, that these anti-missionaries fool people who can't understand simple semantics, linguistics, grammar. This is such a bigger issue and no one is talking about it. And it seems to be like the only people that discuss this are academics. And academics would never even come against a point like this because it's so, yeah, right? And this is why some of the academics that answered were like, yeah, it's second person singular. What's the point? Exactly. What's the point? Well, for me, now the point is just showing this sheer ignorance within the people who were fooled by anti-missionaries, who use these ridiculous arguments to somehow purport that Jesus is not the Messiah, and it just blows people's minds, and now all of a sudden they reject Jesus. And then they want to attack Paul, who knew better Hebrew than probably Tovia Singer himself, and say that Paul didn't understand that it was a plural. No, Paul is telling you grammatically, it can be understood as a second person singular.
If you need, please pause to read. But what you're looking at is a conversation with AI technology, in particular, ChatGPT. Now, this was sent to me, and when I read it, I thought this needs to be shared. It is ridiculously accurate, and I was told that it produced this answer, this ridiculously accurate answer, in less than 3 seconds. You guys, this is the sole reason my channel and others like it exist, because Singer presents arguments that are very narrow and selective interpretations of the Hebrew Bible. And he ignores the blatant fact that Christianity emerged from a Jewish sect. And it would seem like this creator that I'm responding to has done the exact same thing, has fallen into this anti-missionary, rigid and fixed interpretation. And it's unfortunate because when people seek to learn about Judaism, Tovia Singer is often the one they learn from, which again, when he presents the Hebrew Bible in a clear-right position, even though he's not, it leads ex-Christians to believe that there is a specific interpretation that is correct, even though Judaism has always seen and recognize the existence of multiple interpretations of the text. And that's exactly why I put this at the very back end of this video. Because this creator assumes that Paul was wrong when Paul was absolutely grammatically correct. And our position, that is, the New Testament or Christians or Messianic Jews' position, believing that Jesus is the Messiah, is not antithetical to the Old Testament or Tanakh, but rather antithetical to the goals of Tovia Singer or an anti-missionary who utilizes specific tactics to present the Hebrew Bible in a rigid and fixed interpretation. So do with this information what you will, but I felt it needed to be shared. Shalom.